Now, before we get started on this video, let me say this here. Let me be clear. This is not about attacking Devin Haney. This is about mass media propaganda. This is about narratives. This is about groupthink. You know, it's about all that kind of stuff. It's not really about Devin, the individual, right? I'm going to get into some of the things about Devin's deficiencies and skill sets and why he got beat by Ryan. And I'm going on record right now and say that I predicted that Ryan would knock out Devin. You know what I'm saying? Not because I was hating on Devin. It's because I look at the fighters, right? I look at things objectively, you know what I'm saying? Something that y'all don't do because y'all caught up in groupthink, y'all caught up in media hype, y'all caught up in what's being said out there. And then a lot of times y'all caught up in just hate. You ever notice everybody that supports Devin has this problem with the PBC? The PBC is a company, a management company. How they get thrown in the conversation so much is beyond me. Oh, PBC, the PBC, you know, and it just shows that you are not really a boxing fan. You have taken a side in a situation, and that's what it is. You have taken an idealistic side involving boxers. This is not going to be about Devin per se, but it's going to be a breakdown of the fight. It's going to be it's going to be an explanation of why Devin lost to Ryan, why he will lose to Ryan again if they fought again, why he would not be Subriel Matias, why he would not be Pitbull Cruz, and why he would just have pure hell at 147. You know, he has too many deficiencies for him going forward. And I'm going to explain in this video why he had to pursue Undisputed at 135. Which was the real reason why he never got the Tank fight, because he wanted legacy. So Ryan's goal was to get legacy at 135 and then move on to money fights at 140 and above. Well, his plans just backfired because they went about things all wrong. They talked too much crap. They insulted everybody. They dissed everybody. They belittled everybody. And, you know, karma is a bitch, man. So let me talk about that right now in this video, man. Welcome to the Black Elf, and remember, this is not what I do. I do not talk boxing, but when they have big fights, I will come on here and do a little breakdown of the fight. So stay tuned. Let's roll in the Black Elf. The first thing you got to talk about is the weight. There is a reason why Devin was melting all the way down to 135. There's a reason why Devin wanted to get Undisputed so bad at 135. You see, what I don't respect about the way Devin Young played the game is that he was pursuing those belts at 135. He wasn't pursuing Tank, but he was talking about Tank. But what he was going after was legacy. He wanted Undisputed at 135. And I don't respect that, because the whole time he was at 135, he really had no intentions of fighting Tank. His plan was to always attempt to make Tank come up to 140 when he moved up. That was always his plan. His plan was, we're going to melt down, fight smaller guys at 135, guys coming up from 126, and 130. We're going to fight them at 135 while we are melting down to 135. And we're going to get the belts at 135. And luckily that worked out, because of the politics of boxing oftentimes allow for not the best fighters to end up with belts. That's just the reality of it, right? You know what I'm saying? It's just the reality of it, right? And so what you get here is you get a situation where you got a division full of title holders who are not necessarily the best fighters in the division, right? Lomachenko was legitimately a good fighter, but I mean, he's a lot smaller than Devin. He came from 126, a lot smaller than Devin. And he gave Devin hell in that fight. So much so that you still got people thinking that Lomachenko won. I mean, and it could have went either way. It was a very close fight, so I kind of agree with Dan Rayfield for a change. It's something I don't usually do. I have no problem if the score was wide for either man, because it really depended on how you viewed it. It was just that close of a fight. But the problem is the size differences in the men was not close at all. there's a time when Devin Haney walks up to Lomachenko at an event, right? At a fight or something. And they're standing next to each other. And Lomachenko said, he's a lightweight? You know, and you could just see the size difference in the dude's bodies, you know what I'm saying? So Devin wanted undisputed at 135 because he knew that was his best shot at getting undisputed, was at 135. Which tells me that he was aware of his deficiencies, right? Him and Bill, they talk a lot of talk, but they obviously were aware, because if they felt Devin couldn't compete with guys his size, they wouldn't have been down at 135, right? They wouldn't have been melting all the way down there to make weight at 135 and this dude walking the ring at nearly 160. They wouldn't have been doing that, you know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what he did, because that's what Suleiman, the WBC, he actually pointed that out before the Regis fight. The Devin's last fight at 135, Suleiman said this man rehydrated 25 plus pounds overnight, and technically by that state athletic commission's rules, that fight should have been called off because he gained more than 18% of his body weight in rehydration overnight. So anybody's melting down that far, man, is putting himself at great risk. So the question is, why was Devin putting himself down at such risk? You know what I'm saying? To putting himself at such risk to melt all the way down to 135, because that was his best shot at becoming undisputed. That was his legacy, right? So his thing was to always get the belts at, get legacy at 135, and then start moving up and try to drag Tank up, because Tank came from 126. See, a lot of y'all don't even know that Tank came from 126. So his goal was to move Tank up, where he would have a huge size advantage, and hopefully that size advantage will be enough to carry him over to beat Tank, which I don't really think it would be. You know what I'm saying? I don't honestly think it would be. I think Tank stops him anyway. So anyway, fast forward to now what you have here. Devin got his undisputed at 135. He moves up to 140. He fights not the best dude, but he has a belt in Regis Prograde. My homeboy, he's from New Orleans. You know, Regis Prograde, another dude who thinks he's way better than he actually is. He's not that good of a boxer at all, but he had a belt. So Devin go take his belt, which was, inevitable, right? Devin's just a better boxer, and Devin's actually bigger than Regis after moving up to the division, you know what I'm saying? So Devin is a big kid fighting at these smaller divisions. So he's still talking about trying to pull Tank up, right? But the problem that Devin made is that he started believing the hype, and that's where I want to go with this. They started believing the hype, and they started actually believing the stuff that they were saying about people like Ryan Garcia. He called Ryan a C-level fighter, which is true. Ryan is not a good boxer either, but Ryan does have natural attributes that helps him win. He does have a quick left hook, and he don't have to load up on that left hook. That left hook, because actually Ryan is a right-handed fighter, so the left hand is down out front, and he just swings it. You know what I'm saying? He just throws it. It's not like he has to load up on it to throw it. Ryan just throw it. You know what I'm saying? And if it hits you, it hurts you. So that is a problem. That is a problem. That's not even that dude's dominant hand. That is a problem. That his left hook is his most deadly punch, and it's not even his strong hand. But just the weight, and it comes quick. So Devin overlooked that. Devin had got so used to fighting dudes that were smaller than him, that didn't have the footwork he had. The only guy that he fought that had the footwork he had a huge size advantage over him, and that was Lomachenko. And Lomachenko gave him hell. That fight went tooth and nail. And Lomachenko don't have the punch power. So two things: Lomachenko don't have the punch power, and he didn't have the size. So the only guy he fought with the size and the power is Ryan. Now Ryan doesn't have to be the best boxer. He's as big. He got good speed, and he got great power, right? He got very good power, So Ryan doesn't have to be the better boxer. And Devin, I think he just got too used to clubbing baby seals, as the saying go. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. You know, that the metaphor of clubbing baby seals represents that, you know, you're so used to beating up on something that's defenseless. That's why it's on my thumbnail. You get so used to beating up on something that has no defense whatsoever against you that you forget what it's like to actually be against competition. You forget what it's like to actually fight a man your size, because he hasn't done that in who knows how long. Devin has not fought a man his size in years. So you forget what it's like to fight a man your size. You forget what it's like to fight a man with some power. Because yes, some of these dudes in the lower weight classes did have power, but Devin was bigger than them. And Devin had more agility, more footwork, more speed than they did, right? So you forget what it's like to fight somebody that got enough speed to make up for his lacks. And let me talk about what Ryan Garcia showed. You know, people laugh about that funny shoulder roll and the way Ryan gave Devin different looks. The whole thing he was doing was giving Devin different looks, right? It was twofold. It was because he wasn't in the best of shape anyway. You know what I'm saying? Ryan was only in maybe 7-8 round conditioning, right? So he wasn't really in the best of shape. He did goof off a lot, you know what I'm saying? And think about that. You talking about a dude that didn't even train properly, go in there and destroy you like that, bro. And everybody's touting you as the best boxer and stuff, the future and the king and the face of boxing and this and that. You know, and I never seen it. And I want to come back to that point about never seeing it, you know, about the actual skill deficiencies of Devin Haney. I'm gonna come back to that in a second. Let me get on to Ryan. Ryan gave Devin different looks. He backed off. He circled. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't circling because he was scared of Devin's power. He was circling because twofold, take a little break and get him to open up by coming towards me a little bit more, right? Because if I'm going towards him, Devin just shells up into defense and I'm not really getting him like I want to. So get him to come a little bit towards me and I can counter off that, you know what I'm saying? Get him comfortable in the swing and I can meet him with the hook when he swings, and that's basically what Ryan does. He swing when you swing. You know what I'm saying? That's always been his style. He's like Danny Garcia and that stuff, you know what I'm saying? The two Garcias, you know what I'm saying? You know, one Mexican, one Puerto Rican, but both of them swing when you swing. That's their thing. You swing, he swing. So Ryan just sitting, he had to let him come to him. He let him get off. He got in that crazy shoulder roll, let Devin get off a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what Ryan trying to do, get you to open up, you know, and let you spend some of your energy, because, you know, punching takes a lot of energy. So, you know, you do different things, you move around, you dodge a few punches, you curl up, you know, you block a few punches to let people kind of throw their wad a little bit, you know, spin their wad a little bit. And then when they loosen up a little bit, then you go back at them. See, boxing is a lot of ebb and flow, you know what I'm saying? Fighting is a lot of ebb and flow. You got to know when to press the gas and you got to know when to come off the gas. And Devin showed that. Ryan showed that. Ryan showed that he knows when to go forward, when to go back, when to circle, when to just shell up, you know what I'm saying? He just gave you different looks. So he actually outthought Devin in that fight.
What?
He was actually the smarter boxer in the ring. Something else that Devin had been given full credit for being the smartest boxer, the most cerebral boxer. He was never none of that. Now that leads me into Devin Haney's deficiencies. To me, Devin was never the boxer y'all claimed he was. And see, every time you get into this conversation, you get hate. It's like when I said it about Terrence Crawford. Whether y'all like it or not, Terrence Crawford still gets hit way too easy. Yeah, he beat the dog shit out of Errol Spence, but y'all missed the fact that Errol was able to hit him with left hands, which is Errol's backhand. Errol's able to hit him with left hands from a wide distance and hit him across the face. Now, what happens if Terrence get hit like that by somebody who can actually punch? Somebody with some real power. Maybe y'all say Errol got real power, he wasn't himself that night. Whatever you want to say, the point is, Terrence Crawford gets hit. And he too has not fought a single person that was his equal.
Whoa!
Look at his career. He has nobody on his resume that was his equal. Not one person. Not even Spence. Not one person. Terrence Crawford has made a career of clubbing baby seals also. Now, maybe he didn't know Spence was going to be that off or that messed up or whatever, right? Crawford still took the fight. Maybe he didn't know, you know what I'm saying, whatever. He was trying to cash out, you know, whatever the case may be. But come fight time, he realized that, oh, this dude ain't going to beat me. And he dog walked Errol, you know what I'm saying? But still, that version of Errol, whether you say that was Errol, which trust me, I believe that was just Errol, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't really see him fighting any differently from the way he fight. I believe that was just Errol. You know, I never was sold on Errol Spence. I've always said that when he moves up to 154, he will lose because he won't be able to bolo people at 154 like he does at 147. That's why he was melting down to 147 to try to get some type of size advantage, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you got to understand, when they fight at 147, say any weight class a person premier in, you only got two types of people in that weight class. People that have naturally moved up to that weight class, you know what I'm saying? Which means they're in their second and third division, or people who should not be in that weight class. That's the only two people in the weight class. The people who have naturally moved up to the weight class, and the people that should not be in the weight class. So every boxer these days pretty much starts off in a weight class where they should not be. Terrence Crawford himself, to use him as an example again, a lot of people don't know he actually started off at 147. He moved down to 140. After he got on a snack program, was able to cut more weight, he moved down to 140. Had some fights at 140, then came back to 147, right? In fact, I think he even had one fight at 135, if my memory is correct, huh? Yeah, he even had one fight at one or two fights at 135. So he moved down. He started at 147 and moved down. You know what I'm saying? And then came back to where he started. So he should have never been at 140 or 135 to begin with. He should have never been there. So 147 is where he started, and he's killing himself to make weight at 147. But the point is, Crawford, as of now, has not fought a single peer, not one. Everybody that he fought was either old, had been stopped and beat down multiple times, past their prime, or small, coming up. You know what I'm saying? He has never fought anybody that's his peer. But the only thing, I don't think Crawford has a false sense of security. Devin Haney, on the other hand, believed the hype. He believed the hype. And this is not saying either one of these fighters are not good. Both of them are actually very, very good fighters. But you don't really know how good you are when you are clubbing baby seals. You don't know how good you are until you're fighting dudes your size or bigger, like Floyd Money Mayweather did, like Roy Jones did, like Bernard Hopkins did, like Andre Ward did, like James Toney did. You don't really know what you made out of until you start fighting dudes that are bigger than you. Crawford has never been in a ring with a man bigger than him. Devin Haney has never been in a ring with a man bigger than him, let alone his actual size. So this was the first time Haney gets in the ring with a man his size, and look at the results. Why? Because he was never as good as y'all thought he was. He always had flaws. Number two, Devin cannot punch hard enough to beat these men his size and bigger. He is done at 147. He's probably done at 140 because there's no way he beat Sabril Matias. I don't really think he beat Pitbull Cruz. He's done. I mean, he's done, bro. He don't hit hard enough to keep these dudes off him. You know, these dudes are going to keep coming, you know, and keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. They're going to be nightmares for him. Whereas Ryan could at least hit these dudes hard enough to make these dudes think twice about coming. You know what I'm saying? Ryan could give them dudes something to think about. Devin ain't going to give them nothing to think about. They're going to just keep coming at Devin. So I think Devin is in trouble at 140, and he's definitely in trouble at 147. Unfortunately, I think Devin Haney has done all he can do. And in my heart of hearts, I believe they knew this already, which is why they wanted to get undisputed so badly at 135, because he wasn't going to get it nowhere else. I believe that was always the goal, to get the legacy at 135, and then to move up and start getting your money fights, right? And the biggest money fight was also at 135. So they need to try to move him up to 140 to get the big money fight. But that's Tank. But Tank, he's not interested in moving up. So it's like, you know, and people don't understand. Tank is in his 3rd weight class. He fought in the 4th weight class already. He did not like it because he's a short dude. He's short for his own division. So he really didn't like the size disadvantages that he had at 140. So he went back down. He's not going to fight up there again because, you know, at a certain point, that size disadvantage becomes real. And Devin understands size advantages, which is why he was melting down to lightweight all that time, because he wanted to utilize the size advantage. And right now, you know, he finally got in the ring with a man his size, a man that had good speed, and a man that had very good power. And I mean, the fight was just a one-sided ass whipping. The dude got beat down, literally. His paw should have stopped the fight. He took way too much punishment, you know what I'm saying? It's way too embarrassing, you know what I mean? He just got beat up, you know? Now, to Devin's credit, Devin kept getting up and he kept pushing forward. I mean, not just that he got up, the dude kept fighting. He didn't just get up, he came forward. He wanted more. You know what I'm saying? So the cat, the boy got some heart. He got grit. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no pushover. So, I mean, kudos to him that we know what he's made out of, you know what I'm saying? But how much damage has been done due to that type of ass whipping? Because it doesn't matter what he's made out of. Ryan Garcia could have just broken him. And I think and Devin got to fight soft touches from here on out, because, man, look, if he fight anybody with any type of power at 140, he's done. He's done. That's his Achilles heels. He's going to have to make sure he fight dudes that have no knockouts at 140. If he moved to 147, he got to cherry pick dudes with no knockouts. And see, right now, his star power is gone. That's the problem. See, right now, he don't have the star power no more to cherry pick these dudes no more. People are going to lose interest in seeing him fight, because now if he start going down fighting bums again, they're not going to want to see it. Unless he's just like Terrence Crawford, he's going to be satisfied with making $2-3 million and he's going to just ride off to the bank. Because that's what Terrence Crawford do. You know, he takes a little $4, $5, $6 million. He's happy. He go fight a cab driver and he keeps on going. You know what I'm saying? Because the media going to protect him. Terrence Crawford's not going to be held responsible. He already beat the one dude that was overhyped in Errol Spence. Another cat that they shouldn't have been hyping up the way they was hyping up. He already beat one overhyped dude. So, I mean, now what y'all can say to Terrence Crawford? He beat the boogeyman according to y'all. But Spence was never the boogeyman to me. And I'm still not sold on Crawford. Because at the end of the day, he still has not been in a ring with a dude actually his own size. I mean, he has with Spence, but, I mean, again, Spence was never really that good. You know, Spence was never really that good. So he's never been able to do his own size. So we don't really know what Crawford really has in him. And Devin Haney, we now know what he has in him. And I was one that predicted this outcome, just so y'all know. So all these experts and all these pundits and everybody talking about nobody's seen this coming, that's not true. I seen it because I can see the style matchups. You know, you got one dude that is a better boxer. Devin Haney is definitely a better boxer, but he don't have the power. And he has defensive flaws. You got, on the other hand, a dude that's a little bit smarter than people give him credit for. He knows when to give you different looks, when to go forward, when to turn. You know what fight really told me that Ryan Garcia was a lot more cerebral? The Duarte fight. When they asked Ryan, why did you go in that old poor man Philly shell, you know what I'm saying, that horrible Philly shell? He said, because the dude hits hard, he's strong, and he kept coming, and I needed to break his momentum. I needed to do something to break his momentum. So I figured I'll just shell up and try to catch him with some counters on the chin, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, that was smart. That was actually smart. Whether you agree with it or not, whether you like the way it looked or not, he gave an explanation for what he was attempting to do. That tells you he's thinking. So when you see Ryan back off and move around the ring and all that stuff, he's thinking. When you see him go against the rope and start doing that crazy Philly shell, he's thinking. You didn't see Devin give Ryan not one different look. Now think about a Floyd Mayweather fight. This is what Ryan learned from Floyd. I can guarantee you that. But when you think about Floyd, how many looks did Floyd give a fighter throughout a fight? Floyd had maybe 4 or 5 looks that he would give a fighter throughout a fight. Sometimes he would give him multiple looks throughout a round because the different looks keeps him off balance. So Ryan understood that. So in one round, Ryan might move around, he might go in a shell, and then he might come forward. That's 3 looks in one round. That's smart. Devin gave Ryan no kind of different looks. No kind of different looks. So the reason why I predicted what I predicted is because I seen the way these 2 men fight. Again, you got one dude that's a much better boxer, but he doesn't have the power, right? And he's used to clubbing baby seals, literally. He's used to fighting smaller men. You got on the other side, you got a dude that's actually as heavy as he is, taller than he is, with as much speed as he has, with way more power than he has. He didn't need to be the better boxer. He didn't need to be the better boxer. Because eventually, he was going to swing when Devin swing. He was going to hurt Devin. And that was his game plan. I'm going to hurt him. I'm going to hit him and hurt him. And he did. So, all the mass media, all you Devin Haney fans that's been going around for years calling people haters who was critical of Devin Haney's skill, you know, y'all made yourself look bad, bro. Y'all made yourselves look real bad. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what to say, bro. You know, y'all got to stop crowning people before they prove it. And second of all, y'all got to stop following the narratives of the media. You know what I'm saying? Devin was praised in the media because he wasn't with the PBC. So they praise him in the mainstream media, but he has never proven. You got to actually look at who he's been lined up against. You got to be realistic. Stop trying to find excuses for this dude all the time. Stop trying to put everything in his favor, because at the end of the day, his ass is going to lose the ability to melt down to 140. He's going to have to go to 147. He got 2 monsters at least at 140 that he's not going to beat. He got buku people at 147 that he's not going to beat. His time is over. He's going to literally have to cherry pick his fights like he's been doing. But the only problem is he could at least pick dudes in the lower weight class that at least have belts to give off excuse, or, you know, to justify the pick and everything, you know what I'm saying? But what is he going to do when he gets to 147? He ain't beating nobody there. I don't have him beating the lowest ranked 147 pounder. I ain't got to beat none of them. So he's going to be in trouble, you know what I'm saying? He's going to be in trouble. So I don't know, man. Y'all got to stop praising people. Y'all got to start looking at things objectively. You got to look at what you're dealing with in front of you. You got to look at what a man actually does in the ring, who he's actually doing it against. That's what you got to look at. You got a pro football team playing a high school football team. You can't just sit there and talk, oh man, football team the best in the world. That team, man, no, who they playing against? And then you put them out there with another pro team, they get walked all over 45-0. You know what I'm saying? And you be like, oh man, I don't know what happened. They had a bad night. They ain't have a bad night. They finally played people of their peers. That's all. They finally played some pros. Last night, Devin finally fought a man, his equal. And he shows that he's not capable of beating a man his equal, which now you know why he was melting down to 135 for all those years, why he wanted undisputed so badly at 135, because he's not getting it at 140. He's damn sure not getting it at 147. His boxing career is over. He should have took that money fight with Tank when he had a chance. Mark my words. Now y'all say, oh man, how you gonna write him off at the one loss? It's not the one loss. It's the fact that he has to move up eventually. It's the fact that he's surrounded by sharks at 140 that he can't beat, and he's going to be surrounded by even bigger sharks at 147 that he can't beat. He is just not the dude y'all think he is, primarily because he doesn't box as well as y'all think he boxes. He's been beating up on smaller men of lesser quality. That's what he's been doing, and they caught up with him. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Now, this is a boxing talk. This is not what I do on this channel, you know what I'm saying? This is a here and there things, occasional thing, you know. I drop boxing videos in. So, anyway, I talk about other things here. So, if you're interested, check out the channel, you know what I'm saying? If not, just stay subscribed. I'm pretty sure I'll drop another boxing video soon because we have some big fights coming up. So, till next time, I'm out of here. I'm Brother Kush, a.k.a. The Black Elf. Salam.